now let's get into the 15 facts that will help you master your own unique self-care routine. Step number 1 is the one that comes first, and this is journaling. Now listen, I love commodified self-care, okay? I love massages, I love face masks, but none of that is going to work unless it is combined with real introspection. And journaling is the thing that's gonna help you with this. Before you incorporate all of these extra steps in your routine, you need to grab out a piece of paper and you need to actually identify where you're struggling, what your weaknesses are, where you feel like you haven't healed yet, how you think your happiness could be improved. And guess what? The only person who knows the answers to any of those questions is you. But we aren't conscious about this because we're so consumed by the daily rush and responsibility of life that we think that going on a quick walk or lighting a candle or having a bubble bath is supposed to make us relax when we're never dealing with the problem at hand. Like, how have we gone this long thinking that everyone can have the same bubble bath routine and have everyone's problems fixed? It literally makes no sense. We all struggle with something completely different, and journaling is gonna help you get to the root of what you're struggling with so that you can then identify the steps to create from there. And when it comes to journaling, there's no right or wrong answer. I think, yes, it's important to use it as an emotional release. When you're having a bad day, when you're struggling with something, when you wanna rant, your journal can literally be your therapist, and it's an important way to release any negative emotions you're harboring, which are then kind of ruining your wellness and your mood, so you can get it off your chest. But I also love to use journaling to document the good. Not only for gratitude, which can raise your vibration and definitely be an amazing self-care practice, but to kind of become your own life coach. When you have documented enough of your life through good and bad days when writing in like a diary format in your journal, when you're having a bad day, you can look back and read on the days that you felt so happy and so alive and so amazing, and then you can literally see, oh, I did this, this, and this, and that's probably why I ended up having a good day. And you literally have this bank of information as to what makes you happy, not everybody else. And it's literally the best self-development advice you could ever get because it's from yourself based on your life experiences. This links into step number 2, doing favors for your future self. I have a list in my phone called things that make me feel good versus things that make me feel bad for so long. And this was inspired from a post I saw called Energy Givers versus Takers. And this basically shows things that will raise your happiness levels and your dopamine versus things that are going to take away from it, that aren't going to benefit your self-care at all. And I thought it's time that I do this for what benefits me and my unique needs. So I literally just became conscious of how I felt and how I was moving through each phase of my life, through each day, through each week. And I realized, okay, when I drink coffee, I feel this way. When I go out on a night with my friends and I drink too much, I feel sadder over the weekend. So that's something that makes me feel bad. And it's important to write these things down along with certain things that you know light you up. So putting on a good outfit, drinking a cup of tea in the morning, having a slow morning routine, because on those days where you feel sad and helpless and you're in this victim mentality, you are finally going to take accountability to pull yourself out of it. You are finally taking responsibility over your own happiness by doing this favor today, just by writing out what you know takes away your energy and what adds to your energy. So on the days that you're struggling and your brain power isn't really there, you have a list of things that you can do to pull yourself out of that rut. This also links into step number 3, which is all about organization and planning ahead. I really like to link this into the love language acts of service, which I think is so important to give to yourself. So an example of this that I practice is my Sunday reset routine, which is so important to me. So from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. every single Sunday, so 4 hours, I do an entire deep clean of my apartment. I do my food shop, I go for a walk, and I have a workout. I buy fresh flowers for my apartment, and I tie up any loose ends. I respond to all my text messages, make sure my emails are done. So by midday, when I'm sitting down to have my lunch, the entire week I've wrapped up. There is nothing lingering from this week that's going to then bother me into a new week, so then all of my work is going to pile up and stress me out. Plus, I'm starting Monday morning on a fresh note. I am doing myself the favor of being able to live in a clean space from Monday to Sunday the following week because I already took care of it. I then spend the rest of my Sunday reset actually just relaxing, being a couch potato, watching Netflix all day because I deserve that downtime, and it means I'm not going to be burnt out when going back to work the following week. During this Sunday reset, I also make sure I schedule and organize my week ahead in advance and I time block everything. So I will look at my to-do list, my work schedule, things that I want to incorporate, whether it's workouts, classes, time with friends. And I'm like, okay, Monday to Wednesday, this is how I'm going to organize my time. And it means when the week starts, I don't have to think about anything. I am easily and effortlessly going through my week. All of my needs are being met because I thought about it for like 30 minutes on Sunday. And it means I am a happier individual with less stress going through every day instead. And let me say, when it comes to scheduling and time blocking your week, scheduling time for your rest, your downtime, your joy, your time with friends and family is equally as important. Don't go overboard with I need to be working and be productive every single hour. That's how you're gonna burn out. That's how you're gonna drain yourself. Self-care is also about the bubble baths and the massages, so make sure you're scheduling them in with this as well. Step 4. Now we know that self-care always tends to take a backseat when we get super busy in life, and why wouldn't it, right? Who has time to do all of these extra routines every single day? So we need to find a way to incorporate self-care really quickly that's gonna take no time into our every single day. 1, deep breaths first thing in the morning when you're driving to work, when you're walking somewhere. 2, listening to a podcast that's gonna comfort you or educate you or inspire you to set the tone for your day. 3, writing down 3 things you're grateful for in your notes app, in a journaling app on your phone when you're on your daily commute to school. 4, indulging in your regular mundane moments. Your life does not have to look pretty and perfect and amazing. It's as simple as that 1 cup of coffee you have every single morning, actually indulging in that moment and being completely present with it. One thing I did actually this morning was I decided to make pancakes for breakfast. And I make breakfast every single morning, but I thought I was growing really tired of my routine and I was feeling a bit meh recently, and I thought, let me just try and make something different. And it helped me romanticize my life. It gave me joy because I was creating something, I was trying something new, and it was fun. And then I kind of got the reward afterwards of being able to eat the food. And it's about changing up these little things that are a normal part of our routine every single day to inject that extra bit of joy into our day, and it doesn't take up any extra time. Another quick self-care practice is changing your perspective and narrative of every moment you encounter. So let's say you are stuck in traffic. Instead of engaging in road rage or being really annoyed and thinking, oh my God, you know, why is this happening to me? I now have more time to listen to the podcast I want to do. I have some time to do my deep breaths. And it's really about choosing what you want to gain and draw out of every single situation. And lastly, I would say looking back at old pictures brings me so much joy. Nostalgia is such a beautiful thing. And I actually heard someone say recently on TikTok, nostalgia is proof that your life has been worth living. And I think we have iPhones and iCloud drives and we have so many pictures from the last few years of our lives, and I think even just taking 2 minutes out of your day while you're waiting for your food to cook in the microwave or the oven to just go back 5 years to see what you used to do. When do we ever make time to do that? And I think it can just remind us of how far we've come as individuals as well. And I think that's such a cute, caring and self-loving practice that will inject that little bit of extra joy in your day. Step number 5, do the internal work. Because listen, self-care should not have to cost you anything, not a singular dime, because self-care is a way of being, not buying. So ways to do the inner work is to go to therapy, is to do your shadow work journal prompts, is to change the narrative, is to practice emotional regulation, to build an abundance mindset, to practice manifesting your dreams, to take actions every single day that closes the gap between your dream and current self, to reprogram your subconscious, to set boundaries. And guess what? I have tutorials on every single one of those topics on my channel, so you have no excuses. 6, identify how you are spending your time and how your daily choices align to where you want to be in life and what your desires are. I feel like a lot of the time we fall into pits of procrastination or we have bad habits, and then we feel badly about ourselves because we're like, wait a second, but this isn't the person I want to be, and this isn't getting me any closer to my goals. And we've already finished Q1 of 2024 and I have not done anything on my New Year's resolutions list. Yes, I'm looking at you. Is that you? So today we are going to be changing that. You really need to identify what your principles and your values are, and then I need you to take a look at your current life, hold yourself accountable, okay? Give yourself some tough love and start evaluating everything that serves you versus doesn't, and what is going to best align you to the person that you first envisioned you wanted to be at the end of this year. You may have fallen off track, you may have neglected your New Year's resolutions list a little bit, but you still got hella time to do it. So are the people around you serving you? Are they aligning with the mindset mindset that you want to build for yourself? Are the daily habits and routines truly the best in getting you your goals and your dream life? You know, do you procrastinate a lot? How are you going to try and cut that out? How are you going to switch around your routine to try and create better time management and productivity? What habits are serving you? What scarce and limiting thoughts are keeping you from actually achieving the goals you set for this year? And I think this also links a little bit back into what makes me feel good versus what makes me feel bad. This is so similar in the sense that you are finally becoming conscious of, what am I doing that's good for myself versus bad? And once you finally identify that, which a lot of people don't, you can finally incorporate new habits to create the reality you deserve and desire. Self-care practice number 7, the 80-20 nourishment rule. This basically means that 80% of the time you are going to eat whole, healthy foods, and 20% of the time you get to indulge in your joy foods and what you like to eat. This is how I personally live my life. And hey, I'm not here telling you how to eat. I am simply going to give you advice on why I think this works and why this is such a great self-care practice. Food has literally been linked to wellness and to your mood. Studies have shown that additives in ultra-processed foods that a lot of us consume on a daily basis can actually interfere with the production of brain chemicals like dopamine and serotonin, which are responsible for how happy we feel, which then have a negative impact on our well-being, on our happiness, on our mood. Whereas whole foods have actually been linked to making us feel more energized, making us feel better about ourselves. And this is my stance with it. Yes, do you have to make sacrifices with the frequency at which you eat cake and crisps 100%, but I know that when I eat the boring salad or when I eat chicken and fish every single day, I feel fuller for longer. I don't feel sluggish. I feel more energized for longer, meaning I have a higher capacity to actually tackle my goals, to be the best version of myself for the day, to move my body. And that is the ultimate form of self-care, having that level of discipline where you're like, I'm not gonna reach for the box of crackers. I'm gonna make myself a nourishing meal that's gonna give me all of the vitamins and minerals I need to be at my most optimal levels as a human being. 8, your needs constantly change throughout your life. And this is exactly why this whole bubble bath face masks thing is so dumb, because you are constantly going to go through either every day, every week, or every month needing something different in order to feel taken care of. And that is why regular check-ins are so important. So journaling is a part of this, and that pre-planning and organization that we already talked about is also part of this. But one thing I used to do for the longest time was keep a video diary. So at the end of every day, I actually used to use Snapchat for this. I would just pull out my phone, record what happened today, what went well, what went badly. And looking back at this just gave me all of this information on what does light me up and what habits I should be incorporating into my every single day. And also you can visually watch how your mood changes and what you need to do in order to get back to a certain place of happiness, or what you might be doing which has kind of made you deteriorate on your personal growth journey, because you're literally visually allowing yourself to watch your progress. I think writing letters to yourself is also a really powerful way to do this. And then if we're talking about the productivity side of self-care, one thing I like to do is I reference my 2024 resolution goal list that I wrote back in January. I reference that every single week when I'm planning out my week. So I keep myself accountable so I don't stress myself out and feel bad for forgetting the promises I made for myself, because self-care and self-love is also about showing up for yourself and doing what you say you're gonna do when you say you're gonna do it. So every single Sunday, I'm like, okay, I have this work to do, I have these workouts, but hold up, I said I was gonna learn a language. I said I was gonna do this. I said I was gonna start this class. So let me book that in for this week. And I do that every single week. And it actually increases your level of accomplishment and achievement, which guess what? Then improves your self-esteem. Step number 9 is regulating your emotions and taking action to be able to control your emotions. Now, my favorite emotional regulation technique is to literally just choose how you want to feel. I think a lot of the time we think we don't have control over our thoughts or emotions, but you do. If somebody is annoying you, if someone is being disrespectful, you don't need to be angry in that situation. And guess what? You don't need to be hurt either. That is a conscious choice that you are making. And my life got so much more peaceful when I finally got to a place where if someone was talking shit about me, disrespecting me, being rude, I just thought, that's fine. Your opinion of me is literally none of my business. If you need me to be the villain in your story, that's absolutely fine. I can never control the perception that you have of me, because the perception you have of me is just a projection of your own beliefs and life experiences and lessons. And people define you based on the limited experience they had with you, meaning it's never going to be a valid, full, authentic representation of you. It's literally just 2 seconds of you that they've experienced. It's literally just 1% of what makes you you. You get to choose how you feel about situations and how you respond to them. And as soon as you choose the path of detachment, your life is going to get so much easier. And then when it comes to taking action to regulate your emotions, this links a lot into hacking your happy hormones. So we already know that moving your body is going to help you feel happier, listening to music, having a dance, eating dark chocolate, but also things like taking a shower when you feel anxious can significantly reduce stress because it lowers your heart rate. Taking a quick 20-minute walk has also been shown to boost your mood because it regulates and calms down the nervous system. They are 2 simple, completely free activities that are going to be better for yourself and your self-care, as opposed to, I feel really sad, I'm really annoyed, this person did this and this about me, so I'm gonna sit here and I'm just going to feel my negative emotions over and over and over again. I'm not gonna release them, I'm not gonna do anything about them, I'm just gonna think about how negative the situation is and how unfair it is for me. So you're sending yourself in the same negative spiral over and over and over again. Self-care habit number 10 is reading. And guess what? Free. You can go to the library and you can pick up as many books as you want. But self-education is such a powerful tool because I think, one, it reduces your stress. Let's say you're stressed about money. Let's say you're stressed because you want to be a business owner and you don't know how. Pick up a book. Completely free. Read an article online, watch a YouTube video, watch someone's TikTok. Completely free. And this is going to help reduce your stress because you are all of a sudden gonna start having more achievement from this. You're gonna gain more clarity and confidence in the field that you want to pursue. You're not gonna feel like you're holding yourself back anymore because you're not good enough or you don't know enough, which is then gonna rid you of self-doubt. Plus, it's a great thing to replace with your social media usage, which is just going to increase your comparison and low self-esteem, with something that's more positive, because it also increases your intelligence and your cognitive ability the more you decide to read books, whether it's non-fiction or fiction. Self-care habit number 11 is my favorite because I tried this years ago and I feel like nobody talks about it. It's called burning the letter, and this is an actual therapeutic and spiritual practice. I was going through a really bad breakup. Like, this breakup was like ruining my life level bad, and I couldn't get over it. And I'm not saying this one technique completely healed my broken heart, but it was a start. And I think doing this regularly is a really good self-care practice. And this is basically when you get out a piece of paper and you write out, you literally address it to the person that's hurt you, the person that you feel like is taking up all of the space in your head, and you write out everything you feel about them. You can swear, you can rant, you can say all of your honest thoughts, and then you're gonna crumple up the piece of paper, you're gonna put it into a pot, and you're gonna let it burn. This has so many studies and so many facts that you can look up as to why this is such a powerful and actually healing practice. But most of all, in my opinion, I think it's just the perfect level of emotional release. I think a lot of the time we try to rush ourselves through the healing process and we never actually get to say what we feel because we're not gonna say it to the person's face, especially if they've hurt us a lot. You know, we try to protect ourselves, but that doesn't mean you should keep in all of those thoughts and opinions always, because that's literally stored in your body as stress, and it's never going to come out unless you allow it to, whether it's through journaling, whether it's through the burning the letter method. It basically allows you to take all of that stuff you've been harboring inside and gently give it away. Experience a moment of gratitude as you're watching the paper burn, and kind of envision yourself stepping towards a phase of your life that is filled with more peace and detachment away from that situation, because just the act of it burning away kind of signals to your brain that it's out of your life now as well. Self-care step number 12 is all about movement, and movement for mental health, not appearance. I am the biggest advocate for this, okay? I'm not really a gym girly like that. Barely even know how to use half of the equipment, which is why I'm never gonna come on here and post a workout routine, even though you guys keep asking me. But I go to the gym for enjoyment. I go to the gym because I am feeling myself. When I walk out, whether I go for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, or 2 hours, my energy is completely shifted for the day. My mental health is amazing. I actually find that if I don't go to the gym for a week, I start to feel sluggish. I start to feel really meh. My hormones are all over the place. If you suffer from a hormonal imbalance, which can F with your skin, which can F with your emotions, the way you feel about yourself, your energy for the day, literally just doing a workout in the morning, in the evening, going for a walk, doing some cardio, going to the gym helps with that. Once again, it helps you reach those optimal levels. And this is honestly the most underrated form of self-care, and it's the easiest. I'm so sick of movement and exercise needing to be about getting a smaller waist or a flatter stomach or a bigger butt. It's literally down to your happiness, and I look at it like that way, and that's how I stay consistent with it, because I wake up and I'm like, if I want to be a happy, energized human being at my best potential, I should go and do a quick workout. And it doesn't need to be perfect. It can be walking on the treadmill for 30 minutes. It can be lifting weights if that's what you want to do. Choose a form of exercise that lights you up and injects that joy back into your day. Like I said before, it could be Pilates, it could be going for a run. Self-care step number 13 is to move slower. And what I mean by this is incorporating slow routines into your day. Having a slow morning routine absolutely changed my life. And I was telling my friend about this the other day. She was saying how she feels like very stressed and kind of anxious a lot of the time. And it was because she would wake up in a rush, get ready for the day, and then quickly head to work, head into all of her responsibilities. And how you start the day literally sets the tone for the day you're about to experience. I used to do the exact same thing. I would wake up, I would rush to school at the last minute, rush to work at the last minute. And now I wake up, I make a matcha. I have a moment of gratitude, or I'll meditate, or I'll even, if I feel really overwhelmed and stressed and tired, I'll watch an episode of my favorite show in the morning. My morning, the first 30 minutes or hour is all for myself. And it just means I feel relaxed and I feel taken care of. Because when you wake up and you're rushing to do X, Y, and Z, you are living your life in accordance to other people's terms. Where you're like, oh, okay, I had my 8 hours of rest. The second I wake up, I'm living according to somebody else's schedules. I'm doing X, Y, Z for everybody else and never taking a breath or a moment for myself. It's literally allowing yourself permission to rest, to take it easy, and sometimes to just be lazy. And this doesn't mean not doing your work. You can also incorporate a slow productivity routine. I actually have a full video on a vlog I did on my vlog channel where I'll have a productive day in my life, but it's a slow version. It's less about how much you're gonna get done and not taking any breaks to I'm getting things done, but I'm doing it at my own pace and I'm honoring my needs so then I don't get burnt out. It's more about maintaining that consistency of showing up for yourself every day rather than needing to be perfect every single day, which is the reason that you burn out. Self-care step number 14 is romanticizing life. This links back to what I said about the importance of your perception. This does not need to take up any time whatsoever. Yes, you could make it super extravagant and you could redecorate your home and you could organize a trip with your friends, but it's also about how you choose to look at every normal thing in your life, whether it's the train ride you go on every single morning, whether it's your cup of coffee. I have an entire guide on my YouTube channel on how you can romanticize your life. It's also in audio format on Spotify, on my podcast. So many people have said that it helps them. It truly is down to those moments of gratitude and that moment of reflection where it goes from, oh, I have to wake up and I have to do this, to I get to do this. And I get to put on a cute outfit before I had to work or do this or that. But the video explains it in much more detail. And finally, self-care step number 15, super simple. Finally making yourself the commitment. You always make it on time to school or work or when you have to wake up early to do a favor to your friend. But when you told yourself you were gonna wake up early to go to the gym, you're snoozing your alarm. You're still in bed, you're cancelling on those plans. It's been 3 months, you still haven't gone to the gym, you didn't start that business. That's the most self-hating thing you can do. What do you mean you're there for every person in your life, even the people you don't know, and you're not there for yourself? And then what does that do over time? It decreases your self-esteem because then you're like, oh, I haven't achieved anything, or oh, I can't even trust myself, and how do you have discipline and how do you have confidence? Literally just by doing the thing regardless of how you feel, regardless of how tired you are. Because even when you're tired and even when you don't want to do the thing, you still do it for everybody else. So why aren't you giving yourself that same level of dedication and loyalty? And that brings us to the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please comment down below. Let me know what your favorite self-care fact or step was, because I would love to know. And I hope you learned something from this video, and I hope you're gonna start taking better care of yourself because you deserve it, bestie. Thank you so much for watching yet another video, and I will see you same time next week for a brand new one. Be sure to check out all the links in the description for my vlog channel, the pre-order link for my book, my Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, and I will see you next week. Bye guys, I appreciate you.